welcome each and every one of us to Abuja, to Nigeria, to African Caucus 2024. And I say a big thank you. This is a challenging time for Nigeria. It's a challenging time for Africa and indeed the world. And what you have shown by your presence here today is that we together are willing to keep trying, which is what we must do on behalf of our people. It's both a pleasure and an honor to convene this year's African Caucus, and which will deliberate on viable strategies for advancing the development of our continent through the time-tested path of trade, which is an essential driver of human growth and integration. Your Excellencies, fellow governors, after 4 turbulent years and multiple shocks to the world economy, the projections are that the African economies are poised to make moderate gains. The rebound is commendable. We're happy that African economies are showing some resilience despite the challenging global economy. Having said this, our ambition is to consistently grow at 7.8% per annum in order to lead our people out of poverty. To achieve this target, this expectation, we must come together across the divide for shared solutions to critical challenges that impede the development and progress of our continent. Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues, the overarching theme for this year's 2024 African Caucus is facilitating intra-African trade, catalyst for sustainable development in Africa. This theme is germane, it is pivotal as we collectively seek to accelerate the transformation and development of our dear continent. In the next couple of days, we will talk about strengthening the Pan-African payment system, trade facilitation, infrastructure, energy access, and digitalization. And going back to energy access, we are very, very excited by the initiative of the World Bank and the African Development Bank to bring electricity to 300 million Africans by the year 2030. And we look forward to playing our role to make that laudable initiative a reality. We also look to leveraging on our partnerships with the multilateral development banks. And finally, discussing IDA 21 replenishment.
This gathering is particularly significant as it marks the first time this all-important African Caucus meeting is being held on our soil. The theme, Facilitating Intra-Africa Trade, Catalyst for Sustainable Economic Growth in Africa, is indeed timely and fitting. Africa stands at a crossroads with unprecedented opportunities for development alongside significant challenges. To navigate this complex landscape and set the continent on a path of sustainable economic growth, we must leverage the support of our global partners. This is where the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank Group, WBG, play a critical role. Their expertise and resources can provide the essential impetus needed to unlock the continent's vast potential. The continent now stands on the threshold of a new era in African economic cooperation through the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCTA, the largest such agreement in the world by both area and number of countries. According to data from the World Trade Organization, intra-African trade accounts for an estimated 13% of the continent's total trade, compared to 60% in Europe and 40% in North America. This indicates that significant efforts are needed to build a robust, economically diversified, and prosperous Africa. As monetary authorities, we have the responsibility to formulate policies that enhance trade amongst countries on the continent. We can achieve this by fostering a financial landscape that encourages collaborative research and development to support our industries and generate economic wealth for our growing populations.
On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I am delighted to welcome so many esteemed personalities who have traveled from all over Africa and other regions of the world to be present at the important meeting in our capital city, Abuja. Today we gather as one family, united in our quest for a stronger, more prosperous and more peaceful continent. As we meet, we must also remember that our continent faces numerous challenges across economic, humanitarian, and social spheres. However, I take consolation from the fact that we all recognize the potential we possess to overcome these challenges, and we are ready to take the necessary measures to translate our immense opportunities in natural resources and human capital into growth, innovation, and collaboration. This caucus offers a vital platform for us to share experiences, forge partnerships, and chart a collective path forward. Africa's story is one of resilience, creativity, and hope. Indeed, we have made significant strides in recent years, with many of our nations achieving remarkable economic growth, social progress, and political stability. Yet, obstacles such as increasing poverty, rising debt across many countries, inequality, and conflicts continue to widen the gap between our continent and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. This is indeed a matter of serious concern. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this caucus meeting provides us with the opportunity to examine and discuss the main challenges and strategies for fostering inclusive growth and sustainable development in Africa. By ensuring that democracy, good governance, and economic institutions work together, we can improve the quality of life of people across the continent. I find the theme of this year's African Caucus meeting, facilitating intra-African trade, catalyst for sustainable economic growth and development, to be very strategic. It not only draws attention to the potential of a robust and inclusive global trading arrangement to accelerate growth, but also reminds us of the urgent need to address the unevenness in trade growth, which accounts for the weakening dynamism and openness in trade. With seasoned professionals and policymakers from diverse backgrounds in our midst addressing a range of timely and important issues related to Africa's development, I am confident that this meeting will pave the way forward for sustainable development on the African continent.